and vision aligns with the empowerment of women, ensuring their active participation in decision-making processes. Her mission is to create an inclusive society where women have equal opportunities and a voice in shaping their own destinies. With a round of applause, I would be requesting ma'am to deliver a talk on Mission Sakti in Odisha.
Thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Am I audible? Yes. So, she's spoken very well, but I wanted the audience to get a glimpse of what women-led development in Odisha means. And most of you would have been exposed to women's empowerment programs in other parts of the country, but here in Odisha, we do it a little differently. And because our tag is the best kept secret, we'd like to unravel the secrets also in front of this distinguished audience. So I'd like to call for the video, please.
Mission Shakti. Initiated in 2001 by the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik, is a flagship women empowerment initiative by the government of Odisha aimed at holistic empowerment of women.
Mission Shakti, Mission Shakti, Mission Shakti, Mission Shakti, Mama Shakti.
Having incorporated 70 lakh women into its fold across villages and towns of Odisha, Mission Shakti today is a vibrant transformational force. The aim now is to grow from SHE to SME. Unique livelihood promotion, skilling, institution building, financial inclusion, and market linkage initiatives of Mission Shakti strive towards graduating SHGs to small and micro enterprises, generating employment, increasing income, and transforming the lives of millions across the state. Government of Odisha has set up a dedicated department of Mission Shakti for empowerment of SHGs, the first in the country. Driving this forward, Mission Shakti Department has been focusing upon building the capacities of women SHGs while ensuring the sustainability of their initiatives, introducing avenues for interagency convergence for skilling, livelihood promotion and market linkage development, improving financial inclusion through access to financial services and investments, and promoting favorable policy formation and advocacy to bring about systemic changes that promote economic empowerment amongst women. Cabinet, in its first meeting, approved provisioning of Rs 5,000 crores of government services and procurement of goods through SHGs over 5 years. In the last 3 years, more than 1 lakh SHGs have received government business worth over Rs 4,500 crore in convergence with various departments. Rs 50,000 crore bank linkage in the next 5 years is projected. In a pioneering step, Government of Odisha grants interest subvention benefits up to 5 lakh loans for all SHGs. In past years, more than 3.5 lakh SHGs have availed this benefit and Rs 505 crore has been into the accounts of women as interest subvention. With an objective of providing sustainable livelihood solutions to producer SHGs for selling their produce, Government of Odisha through Mission Shakti is supporting the establishment of a robust retail distribution network across the state under the brand name Mission Shakti Bazaar. The state government has made a historic decision of setting up 500 Mission Shakti Bazaars across the state in the next 5 years. This transformative marketing initiative will augment women's financial freedom in the digital era and increase the bargaining power of women producers by reaching out to buyers beyond the district, state, and national boundaries. Not only are millions of women gaining fruitful employment and economic independence through Mission Shakti, they are also partners in the transformation of new Odisha.
Am I audible now? Yeah. So I guess the claps were for the 7 million women who are part of Mission Shakti. I'd just like to take you through 4-5 slides which have certain facts and figures. So I'd like the slideshow to be on. And this is what we do in Odisha differently. It would be nice if everybody understood this and saw this, and more states took this up actually. So the first slide, please. Yeah. So this you see is the cabinet decision that was talked about in the video. In 2019, the first decision of Honorable Cabinet was to insist that every government department find out which are the areas where they can collaborate with SHGs for procurement of goods and services. And this is the decision on that. And as a result of which, a target was set of 5,000 crore worth of goods and services to be procured from SHGs and their federations in the next 5 years. Next slide, please. And this is how the departments fare. I've just given 1 year's data. And you would be wondering, what would fisheries be doing with SHGs? Well, all Gram Panchayat ponds and tanks in Odisha, the first right of fishing is given to SHGs of the village. It is not auctioned to others. It is auctioned among SHGs. Electricity department does electricity meter reading through SHGs. The transport department, in a unique pilot initiative, runs bus services which are managed by SHGs, 1 block per district, to make them equal partners. So this and a lot of non-stereotypical activities are being done by our SHGs. Paddy worth crores is being procured by SHGs through computer iris scanners and biometric devices, and they get their incentives and commissions accordingly. Next slide. So basically, government walks the talk. Now, if you see the credit flow to SHGs in the last 5 to 6 years, it has undergone an 800% increase. This year, it is touching 15,000 crore. So Odisha started with somewhere around 1,000 crores 5-6 years ago, 1,800 crores. And this year we are touching 15,000 crores. And this is propelled by a huge initiative, which is not there again in other states, of interest reimbursement up to rupees 5 lakh. So every SHG across the state, urban and rural, is assured of interest repayment if they have first paid to the banks. So we encourage the banking habit. It is not zero interest at the start. So the group pays the interest, pays the principal, and then it is returned back to her account. So that has fueled this 15,000 crores, and now we are in the big states category. Next. And this is how much interest has been going back to the SHGs every year. So 280 crores this year is fueled back into the microeconomy of villages and small towns. Next. Yes, but you know, facts and figures don't tell the whole story. They never tell the whole story. The story of Mission Shakti today is a story of those 70 lakh women, lakhs and lakhs of women who 2 decades ago thought probably their life would begin and end in the kitchens doing domestic chores. But today, if you see the passport office of Odisha in Bhubaneswar, their highest clientele will be SHG women standing in queue to get a passport. So these are women who, these are real stories, women who had forgotten their names because they were called somebody's mother or somebody's wife for years and years, for decades. They are standing in queue for their name on the passport, and they are routinely going to places like Dubai and Singapore for exposure visits, coming back with stories and channeling that energy into their families, societies, economies, and transforming their lives in a way. So they know that this stamp that they get, you know, the first stamp that they get in going from government, the stamp from Dubai or Singapore, is not maybe the first stamp, but not the last stamp. So these are the women, these are their stories. Next. This is our group that travels. And here I'll tell you, I'll end with something interesting. As I said, facts and figures don't tell the whole story. In Orissa, the the initiative that we have with SHGs doesn't end with numbers. 15,000 crores sounds good. 280 crores into their account sounds good. 70 lakh women sounds good. But what happened in Odisha is the government, headed by the Chief Minister, saw that there should be a link between government and women. So routinely they come for interactive programs with district collectors, with BDOs. No program of any standard can be held in Odisha if SHGs are not involved, if their inputs are not taken. And they also come and routinely meet Honorable Chief Minister. So this creates a huge traction between them. A woman who has come and met the Chief Minister and has discussed with Honorable Sir on different issues cannot go back and be the same woman again. I mean, you think of the rates of domestic violence, you think of other issues which immediately drop because women are partners in governance. So on the 16th of this month, a very unique thing was done by the Cabinet of Odisha, and I'll end with this. There was a uniform allowance given to 70 lakh women right into their bank accounts. That was the decision taken. Now, many of you must have heard this, that, okay, saris to women, uniform to women, so what's the big deal? Here there was a catch. 1.5 lakh leaders of the 70 lakh women also get a blazer allowance. Now you see these smartly dressed women. Blazer is something that you associate with corporate India, with elite public schools. But SHGs in rural Odisha come out smartly dressed in blazers as partners in the transformation story of Odisha, and as leaders in their own right, as claimants of the public space of which they are very much a part. So this is the story of Mission Shakti. The women of Odisha are very much ready. Now it is up to corporates. Are you ready? Thank you. Bande Utkal Janani.
Thank you so much. May I request Bimal sir to please steer the discussion?
Thank you, ma'am. That was inspiring to say the least. And so I think, it was inspiring enough to get everybody, awake after lunch, if I may call it that. But the next session, I think, is, like ma'am said, is all about, getting all of us to do a little bit more, a little bit extra to empower women. Okay, and we will have everybody involved in this particular activity. This is not like a panel discussion. I will explain the activity in a minute. But before that, let me just thank Alka ma'am and Usha Padi ma'am to allow me to be part of this, journey, if you will. Okay, can we put up the slide, please? But let me tell you, one story, one personal story which touched me, and I realized why this is important. So 25 years back, I used to work in Bombay. I had a very young lady as part of my team. She was about 24, 25. She got married, okay, and she used to live in a joint family. Now, interestingly, what happened is that we used to have an evening meeting every day at 6:30, where all the team used to come together. We used to do a basic check on what's going on and so on and so forth. Now, in my good judgment, I stopped inviting her to that 6:30 meeting because I thought that she now has a family responsibility. She is married, she lives in a joint family, and she must give time to her husband and, in-laws and so on and so forth. So, not invited to the 6:30 meeting in the evening. A week goes by, 2 weeks go by. One day, she walks into my cabin in a huff and says, "Sir, I want to talk to you." Okay, so why are you not inviting me to this meeting at 6:30? So I said, "Yeah, but it's evening, it's late. I thought, you have family responsibilities now, and why would I invite you? I thought I'm being nice and kind to you," kind of a thing. And she said, "You have to let me make my choice. You please invite me. If I have an issue at coming at 6:30 to this meeting, I will make that choice and I will make a request and I will, tell you what you should do to behave in front of me." Okay, and I must say that changed. That was a mindset change for me. I realized what it could do, and she was outstanding. She moved to the US, heads up a company now in the US, and has done outstandingly well. So that's my story. But I think the important part to understand is that across the world, there's a lot of research which says that when you involve women, the standard of living of every single individual in the family, the community, and what happens actually goes up dramatically. Some of it, as you saw, ma'am shared, I think you can clearly see what's happening and what these women can bring to the table. But I think they have a huge role to play. Yesterday, there were some numbers shared. I think Usha Padi ma'am and Alka ma'am were sharing yesterday numbers. 31% representation at one level, 36% representation at another level, and the ambition to go to 50%, okay? So what we're going to do here today is to maybe make our little contribution to taking that 31 and 36 number up, supporting Mission Shakti in whatever way we can. So we'll do this in sort of two parts, okay? But before we go there, and this, by the way, is an activity for everybody in the room, right? I just want to make sure that the door at the back is closed. So can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, Okay, so here's the exercise for everybody, okay? We are going to give you some options and you're going to vote, okay? So everybody in the room is requested to vote. So you need to visualize yourself as a young woman in Odisha, actually in any part of the country really, but since we are talking about skilling in Odisha, so focus on Odisha. You are 15 to 18 years old, okay? And think about what your aspirations are, what you want to do in life, kind of a thing. And out of the choices which are given there, please vote for one which you think is possibly the biggest challenge for you as a young woman in getting empowered, okay? So we'll give you a QR code. You can pick up your phone and do it, or you can type the link. But let me first show you the options, okay? So here are the 6 options, if you can see them. Let me move to the side. So here is a young woman who's saying that all these 6 may be equally important in some ways, but what is my biggest challenge to getting empowered in the future? You know, do I not have enough information about career choices? I don't know enough about my capabilities and so on and so forth, right? So you can read the 6 and I will come back to that. But before that, let me just go to the voting button, yeah? Right, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this very quickly. So if you can either scan the QR code or if you prefer, you can go to menti.com there. All of you, please, as many as votes as we can get. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's a different one. You have to do it on the screen. The one on the table is a program one, so don't use the one on the tables. Please use the one on the screen. Some of you seem to have got it earlier than the others. By the way, this is also a text on digital dexterity. Okay? Okay? Have people at the back got it? Okay, another couple of minutes maybe to make your choices. 1. Just 1 out of the 6, okay? Whichever is you feel is the biggest challenge. Done? Okay, I think people at the back are still doing it, so we'll just give it another minute and then we'll move on. Right, shall we move on? Can we see the... Yep. There you can see what the voting is, right? So am I in the way? I'm not very sure, but hopefully you can see this, right? So all of them are reasonably significant challenges, but I can see people still scoring, so it's the bars are still moving. Yeah, if you've not scored, continue to score. We will get this. Right. So this is one of the inputs I thought would be useful for all of you to take a look at. I'm sure there are many other challenges as well. And in the earlier sessions, there was a lot of discussion about what companies are doing, what the government is doing. But this possibly gives a bit of a additional insight from a community like this, which is involved in this whole effort kind of a thing. And hopefully, more and more solutions can be found in addition to the Mission Shakti, effort which is already being made. Okay. Right. We can get back to the slide set, please. Yeah, thank you. Right. So here's what we're going to do, right? So we're going to do two separate set of exercises. Let me explain this. We've taken these 7 tables here, and these are people from the industry, experts in different sectors, and we're going to ask them to find us and do 2 things for us, right? One, given what you saw just now, if you were to, you can distribute, yeah. If you were to sort of create a slogan for young women in Odisha, what would that slogan be? Okay? So from each of these 7 tables, sectorally, we're looking for one slogan. Okay? That's the first thing the table is expected to do. This is to inspire young women in the state of Odisha. Okay? And the second thing is, given the challenges, can you also suggest 1 or 2 suggestions from a solution perspective which we can provide to the different people in the ecosystem, right? So there are 2 tasks. As you can see there, 1 or 2 potential solutions and 1 slogan, okay? Now the slogan, we will collect from you first, okay? So that we can actually display it to everybody. So please work on the slogan first in the 7 tables first. Inspirational slogan for young women in Odisha. Then you can work on the solutions, and we'll ask you to present the solutions to the larger audience in a while. So you have 10 to 12 minutes to complete. Rajan, will you help with collecting the slogans from each table? And then we'll set it up. In the meanwhile, let me go back there for everybody in the tables, right? Beyond the tables. And actually, everybody here as well, if you can participate, I think that would be nice in this part of the exercise, right? So here's what I'm going to ask you to do, okay? Everybody in the room who's not on these 7 tables, okay? So please identify 1 or 2 things which you can do in your job or in your family or in your extended family to support women's empowerment. Is that clear? Most of you is clear? ओडिया रे भी थोड़े कही दउची ठीक अछि निज घरे फैमिली रे किंबा आपण जोठी भी काम करूचंती कि एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली रे कम्युनिटी रे गोटे की 2टा जिनिस कोन करि परिबे जोटा कि वुमेन्स एम्पावरमेंट को सपोर्ट करिवो यंग वुमेन को सपोर्ट करिवो ठीक अछि क्वेश्चन इज क्लियर खाता पेन जहा पाकरे अछि नले फोन अछि लिखि दियंतु परे आमे चेक करिवा 6 मास परे जे आपण कले कि न कले ठीक अछि आग निज 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 जॉब रे निज फैमिली रे निजर एक्सटेंडेड कम्युनिटी रे जोठी भी आपण जहा करि परिबे ठीक अछि फोन रे लिखंतु आज काली फोन समस्त पाकरे अछि समस्त हाथ रे मु देखुची फोन रे लिखंतु लेखिकी रखंतु ताकू ताले जाईकी ताकू परे करिवे हला दैट इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट यंग झियो भी मु देखुची कि जण अछंती आपण तो निज पे भी करि परिवे नॉट जस्ट फैमिली एंड कम्युनिटी ओके So I am requesting our coordinator to also help by showing you all the 6 challenges again for the people at the back so you can see the 6 challenges as you plan your own activity. आप लोग भी कर सकते हैं खुशी वाले सॉरी क्या sorry prize ma'am हम पहले चेक Okay, so the tables, can I request if your slogans are ready, you can just hand it over to Rajan here. He'll collect them quickly. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we need to move quickly, tables. I know there are table leaders at every table. If you can move quickly.
क्या आप बताएं हिंदी अंग्रेजी ट्रांसलेटेड हो गया
हो गया
वैसे दुनिया का लोग वो वाले
Okay, so while the tables are doing the solutioning and the slogans, let me ask everybody else, you've got one or two actions. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ହେଇଗଲା ଗୋଟେ କି ଦିଟା ଜିନିଷ ଯାହା କରିବେ ଆପଣ ହେଇଗଲା ଚେକ୍ କେମିତି କରିବେ ମୁଁ ପରେ ଆସିବି ପଚାରିବି but very good, thank you very much for that. Hopefully everybody has done it. Okay, हो गया राजन राजन
और तीन
Okay, I hope the tables have done the slogan and given to Rajan. I'm going to come to each of you in a few more minutes for the solution. Okay? Yeah, slogan लिख के दे दो. लिख के. That's the first.
नारी समर्थ ओडिशा
So please write the slogan and give it to Rajan. I think some tables have already given.
राइमिंग बनना
Okay. Okay. Okay, so the next task for the tables is to provide one or two solutions, as we said. Can we get back to the slide set, please? Right. So one solution, if you can, to help with the 6 challenges you saw. Right, you have the challenges on your table. 2 minutes मिलेगा बोलने के लिए.
राइमिंग नहीं हो रहा है नारी समर्थ ओडिशा
Rajan, you can give it to her if there's. Doesn't matter. Huh?
आप बताएं
Okay, I think we've got the slogans which are going back, and you will see them in a minute. But while we do that, this is the second part of the activity, which is the solutioning. So I'm going to ask the different table leaders to share one solution which hopefully cuts across all the different challenges, but if not, can it address at least one of the challenges? Yeah?
रूपेण संस्थिता
So table leaders, I'm going to give you another couple of minutes for the solutioning because people are already done. Some tables are already done. You decide. Okay. I think except one group, we've got all the slogans at least. So, yeah. Yeah, don't worry. There are, so without my saying, we've got English and Odia ones, which are very nice actually. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I hope the tables are ready to provide some solutions to these challenges we have. Okay. Done. Almost. Okay, another minute and then hopefully the tables can share the solutions. Yeah. Okay. So can I ask everybody to come back to the tables here, and the tables hopefully will have some interesting suggestions as solutions for all of us to take a look at. But more important, hopefully also the people on the right side of mine, just to make sure that if they have a role to play, they should. And I saw that Santrupt has gently moved into his new role, if I may call it that, yeah? So that's fine. Okay. So let me start with one table, if you can pay attention. Satyadeep is the table rep here. So let me have a mic there. See if it's working. Check. The solution. Stand up and face that. Sure. Okay.
Jai Jagannath.
Okay. Can we have some quiet, please? Don't mind.
I mean, it's been funny. I've been here since last 2 days, and one request to the audience is that Talita free re. मते लगुतला कि ओडिसा रे ताड़ी बहुत जोरे बजाନ୍ତି लोग, बट पछरे मते लागुनी मूड रे अछंती बोली. धन्यवाद. Thank you. So we were a unique panel, and we didn't have a diversity here to talk about a topic which is Mission Sakti. Do you want me to talk about the slogan first or the solutions? Solutions, okay. All right. So we picked up two, mentoring, as it was voted as number one, and having done corporate mentoring platforms for a bit in my life, I think technology can enable mass scale mentoring for the women of Odisha. What do I bring to the table, or what does this table bring to the table? A commitment that we can help build the platform. A commitment that I can use 20,000 of my LinkedIn followers to get at least 5,000 women techies in Odisha to be mentors. And a commitment to make sure that I mentor myself, right? So that's the first solution. which is a mentoring platform. Second, I did my class 10th from this place called Rairangpur. I don't know how many of you know. And class 8th and 9th from Baripada. And I was privileged that some of my batchmates are doctors, from SVP Medical College. I'm talking about my, batchmates, my girls' batchmates. So I've seen people from places like this shine and shine really, really well. The difference that I saw between Baripada and Rairangpur was my headmaster in Baripada was a great career counselor. I wish my headmaster in Rairangpur knew a little bit of that. But if we can introduce career counseling skills for our teachers in high school, again, more than happy to do something back for the state that I belong to and run this program as in what career counseling really means, what are the possibility, and there is so much of possibility all around us. I think that's going to solve for the second point that we found. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Satyadeep. A big round of applause. So he talked about the mentoring platform and training everybody around in the teaching profession to be a good counselor. I think those are the two solutions this table has proposed. Lopa, can I go to your table, please? And maybe we can just take this mic and
Okay, am I audible? So we also talked about two things, the mentoring piece and also about the teachers. So on the mentoring piece, what we talked about was identifying mentors from different walks of life, which means we look at mentors not just from corporates, but from different areas. So if, we are looking at a vocational course, looking at mentors from there, from the different skill development centers, looking at mentors from there. And after creating this pool of mentors, to see how they can be effectively deployed across the state to then, mentor these women and be a part of their journey till they are kind of self-sufficient. And the other thing is that, how can corporates work with the state to ensure that all the teachers are trained to become counselors. So the teachers, since they are the first level of contact with the students, the corporates can work with them to train them to be counselors who can then provide the career guidance that is required by the students as they move forward. So these were the two main things that we talked about. We were talking about the technology piece, and we are still in the middle of the discussion for that.
Thank you, Lopa and team. I think the counselor suggestion obviously was a common one from this table and the other table, and we are taking notes to make that, we collect all of it. You want to go next?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because both the tables mentioned mentorships, I think that's the common solution that everybody think through. So, the biggest problem was mentorship and the least problem was technology. So, I think what we need to do is solving the biggest problem with the things that they have. Mentorship, what we have already done, and that's why I wanted to speak, we've already solved for that problem. So, on the platform, we have close to about 3,000 plus mentors, industry practitioners, and that's where I believe the mentors need to be practitioners because that's the major problem. If you're advising anybody, you should have been there, done that. You can't advise anybody if you have not been exposed to that. So imagine if all of you are industry practitioners, you give 1 hour on a platform, you basically tell that, hey, every Saturday, 10 to 11, I'm ready to mentor people and I can mentor 4 people, 15 minutes each. On the other side, all the girls or the mentors or mentees, they can decide which person they want to take guidance from, which slot is available, and you book it directly on the platform, and the session happens virtually, and you track all the session. And I'm saying that today, right now, we are doing about 100 plus sessions a day. And this mentorship platform, we are connecting. So it's sort of an Uber or an Ola model where we are connecting the mentors and the mentees. So I think that's solved for. It's just that we need to figure it out at mass. Right now, we are doing it for the premier, the students who are pursuing UG and PG. The idea is how do we scale it up to ITIs, vocational, and to 11th and 12th students as well. The second problem, So the second problem is essentially on identifying their current skill sets.
right? Hello everyone. Joy Jagannath. Odisha ro bhai o bhauni manoku moro hardik abhinandan. I hope I was right. Okay, so we imagined on this table, led by Dr. Rao here, if I'm a girl in a village in Odisha or maybe anywhere in the nation, age group 12 to 18 years, have I had the opportunity to even identify my own strengths, my weaknesses, my likes, dislikes, or my aspirations? If we can have a digital way of doing this, along with what Ankit just mentioned, the mentorship program, where I have some form of an assessment in my local language, where it could even be through a chatbot or through WhatsApp, where I'm able to identify all of these, I'll be closer to understanding who am I. So it is very important. That's the third question. Do I even know my capabilities in the poll that we just took? So it's very important we have a place on technology where I, as a young girl, can come and come closer to identifying who am I. Thank you.
Thank you, Devashish and Ankit. Thank you. Could you give them a clap, please? Okay, can we go to Sandeep and then I'll come to you, please?
Yeah, I come from a steel background, manufacturing. I represent Tata Steel here, and something that I keep telling my friends, manufacturing and steel are always or traditionally looked at as men's forte. I would like to remind everybody that during the World War days, the Sheffield steel plant was run by 100% women, while the men folk were fighting the war. So these are myths that need to be kind of killed, I would say, as early as possible. So to begin with, that was something that I wanted to share. Our table looked at the first three challenges, which essentially are around coaching and mentoring. What we looked at was identifying somebody called Sakti at each stage. So it could be a classroom for students between the primary to higher secondary school. It could be the community, and it has to be in various areas or fields. It could be sports, it could be education, it could be any of the other skills that we talked of today. And so one is identification of that Sakti, a mentorship program for all these Sakis to be able to develop them. Maybe the platform that was just talked about can be used for mentoring these Sakis. And then these Sakis run the buddy kind of stuff for all the other ladies and women and girls. But recognition of each one of them is to give them a platform as well. Call somebody out of them a super Sakti by the SAG group that is led by ma'am. I think forums like that or platforms like that, if we kind of give to these young women or girls, I think they will themselves become quite big in their careers.
Lovely. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you. And the team as well. Yeah.
Thank
please.
you. I think all are very, very interesting and powerful suggestions. When we debated, the two statements which came out was that, I do not have enough, I do not know enough about my real capabilities, right? And I do not have enough information about my future career choices. In a way, all of these are interlinked with each other. What we were debating and what we would recommend is that in a setup like this, and I have been personally mesmerized with the way in the last 2 days, the government officials have been coming and they're talking with a real intent and, a drive to do something. In a federal structure like ours, it is the state which drives things. Let's accept it. We can debate 100 things as a corporate, but when the state says you have to do it, we do it, isn't it? We do it. You have something called as Mission Shakti, and all these things, can we look at from a solutioning perspective? Can we say that like employment exchange, for example, what does an employment exchange does? It gets the employment seeker to where the employment lies together on a platform. Now, what we are recommending is that Mission Shakti is already there. We create an exchange kind of a body which says that anyone who is 18, 19 years old in a state of Odisha will come to this platform and will be taken through all these, all the problems like this. Anyone who is facing a problem like this will be helped with solutions. And the thing is, the moment you go and tell that anyone who is coming to this platform is guaranteed a job, I think it creates an aversion in the corporate sector. that you will have to do something. But if you create the skill and you say that here is Mission Shakti, which is presenting 20,000 women in the age group of 18 to 23 years. Please come and meet them. I'm going to give you the platform. The choice is yours to select. I think we'll be more than happy to pick up as many as we want. So that is the kind of body which we need to create. And with the state's intent, again, I think it can be a path breaker.
Thank you. Big round of applause. I'll just come back to you, sir, 1 minute. Yeah, please, Neetu. Yes.
So I think a lot has been said about mentoring, so we're not going to go there, though our team also felt very strongly about that. And a lot has been said about what women need to do for women. I think it's about time we talked about the so-called dominant gender as well. So our team's view was train the boys in school about working with women in the future. So that meeting happens at 4 p.m. Bimal.
Lovely. Yeah, absolutely.
So that was one. We talked a lot about, the role that teachers play, and a lot of colleagues here have talked about it. And we said whether or not all of them will make consistently great counselors, we don't know. But that's where technology and aptitude tests can come in a big way, because that brings in a lot of democratization in the process. We talked about training the boys. I personally have a problem with the phrase unconscious bias. Our view was, train them on unconscious bias. I don't believe there's anything called unconscious bias. Women are 49% of our population. If they're less than 20% of the workforce, it is very conscious bias. And there's something we can do about training people early on those. We had a terrific slogan, which Ranjan is holding on to.
Which we will show on the screen in a while, yeah?
Ranjan's got it in the local language, so totally nailing that one.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, we've got 2 more tables to go, but can we go, sir, very quickly so that we stick to time, please? Yes, go ahead, please.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.
I will just tell you one thing. Life has 2 parts, before marriage and after marriage. And there are, like water cycle, the human society has a cycle, ice, water and steam. 100 years back, we are all living like an ice, everybody together. All of a sudden, the industrial civilization has made us warm. So what happens? The grandfather, grandmother is in villages. We are moving like water. Father, mother and children. They are like water. But ultimately, this industrial heat has heated so much that we become steam. No family, brother, father, everybody. So, I am from telecom department, and we are now taking mobile tower to each and every village. My objective is that this steam should be water, water should be again ice. Once all will be ice, then development will take place. I will have another slogan that is called total development of local area. Why total? Only man will be developed, woman will not be developed. That cannot be called total development. Total development of local area means my son will be developed, my daughter will be developed, my mother will be developed, my father will be developed, and we will be like ice. In each area will be developed. Not only Bhubaneswar will be developed, not only Delhi will be developed, my Rairang will be developed, my Pipili will be developed, my Salipur will be developed, everybody will be developed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Thank you for that passionate submission, I must say. This table, last table, please. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. We have decided
can you take the mic
one
up a little
slogan.
bit?
Saksham Nari Samarth Odisha. This is our slogan. So we are. I would like to say that Odisha has 3 leading ladies sitting in front of me who used to surprise us. I know them for years, and who used to surprise us with their commitment, dedication, and hard work always. And we are also from Surya University, represented by 3 ladies today. And there are men also who have come. I would like to tell that our group has come up with the mentorship, the challenge of mentorship for the women. And economic empowerment leads to all domains of empowerment. For this, we have come up with solution, knowledge sharing, constant educating and re-educating, like Mission Sakti in many SHGs. I know that they have constant knowledge sharing platform. So as Surya University, we can also provide a knowledge sharing platform which can bridge the urban-rural divide, which can bring in more technology, more knowledge, and they can improve from this. I request my president, Professor Rajita Gulkar, to say a few words. And
if you're going to share something additional, please do so quickly.
We have another lady in the table who
please
would
do
like
quickly.
to share.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Suchitra, and we are very recent to the place here, 6 months old. We are the vaccine manufacturers. So our building is ready, and I see every day, being a HR, I see resumes coming from male candidates, 10th pass out, 12th pass out, like that. So surprisingly, what we did, we need more women employees actually to carry on our visual inspection and packing. So what we did, we went to the Sarpanch and we told them that bring all your ladies in the your houses who are ninth fail onwards. So surprisingly, there are 200 women who turned out, who were going washing utensils or they're cleaning the schools, like that. And when they, like, we were surprised, like, how these people are coming. So I addressed the first question of, like, they don't know what choices they have for their career. So we, being the industrialist, we shall reach out to those women, and we shall give a strong information that vacancies are there for women as well here. So then they will come out. So this is what my thing. I think industries will speak about their vacancies.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So can we give a big round of applause to all the tables who've given these suggestions? Hopefully the ladies here and other gents sitting here have taken note of this. And I'm sure there will be even more action on Mission Shakti and such other things as we go forward. Several of these suggestions, I must tell you, I was talking to Alka ma'am, and they're already sort of, some of these things are in progress, but I'm sure all of you can partner with the government to make sure that, with better agility, with solutions, we do what we can to contribute to this whole empowered mission, right? Okay, so can we put up the slogans there? This is the last part of the activity, and again, yeah, can you go back to the slogans? But you need to first show the slogans, otherwise they can vote on this directly. Okay, so here's, if you again go to this QR code or the link, you will see all the slogans there, okay? And you can vote for one of the slogans. And then all the table members are expected to be neutral and not vote only for their slogans, okay? Just to make sure that there is absolute transparency, right? Yeah. Okay, some of them are not translated properly is what I'm told, because they've translated the Oriya ones into English because of this thing, which you may be seeing on your this thing. But anyway, that input is there with us and we will do the necessary. Yeah. One. Please vote for one so we at least see. And of course, later the team will work and see which one we can combine some, we can convert to Oriya, all that sort of stuff can be done. But for the moment, just vote for one. So there's slogan competition. There are no prizes, by the way, just to let you know in advance. Okay. So the idea here is come up with something at the end of this exercise. But if everybody is voted, another 30 seconds. Okay. Can we put that up here? The scores. Right. So you should be able to see this. Of course, there's still voting going on. Okay, so if you take a look at the screen now, you will be able to see all the slogans there. Like some of them are in Oriya and not particularly translated well. But you can see what people have voted for in this committee at least. Okay. We're still getting some votes here and there. So I'll give it another 30 seconds just to make sure that we've got hopefully everybody voting. Okay, I think there are votes still coming in, but we can certainly see which are the ones on the higher end and which are the ones on the lower end. And, OSDA team and see what we want to do with it. But thank you everybody for your contribution. As far as this session is concerned, we are at the end of it, but thank you everybody for contributing. We have to do the same for women empowerment, okay? So thank you very much for your contributions.
Thank you so much. Now, we would be going to release a book based on Mission Sakti's vision, one of the schemes, Swakalpa, an entrepreneurship and self-employment development program by Odisha Skill Development Authority. It's driving growth and nano and micro entrepreneurs through training and mentorship support. This coffee table book is a dedication to the inspiring stories of entrepreneurs benefited through Swakalpa and more stories to be shared in future. We urge everyone to give encouragement to these budding entrepreneurs, and we would be inviting few of them on the stage to release the book. May I request Sujata ma'am to please join us, Alka ma'am to please join us, Usha ma'am, and of course Mr. Bimal Rath. And my team, can you present a copy of the coffee table book?
Hello.
A big round of applause for these amazing, exemplary, budding entrepreneurs we have on stage. True inspiration for all of us.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
आईटी इलेक्ट्रिकल करथि एबे मु एससी एंड फ्रीज वाशिंग मशीन ए सब काम सब करे तो से दिन सब में आउथरे आगु दिबा ପାଇଁ चाहूथि सेटा सपोर्ट माध्यम रे मते आगु दिबा ପାଇଁ सुजोग मिलेला
चेक
गाँव माँ भूमि मैंने किसी घर काम रही जाते जो मैंने कि बिजनेस कर इच्छा थी से काम कर ये गोटे एपरी माध्यम आम ट्रेनिंग नहीं आम बिजनेस किपर भल भाव कर भल भाव शिखागला शिविर में मुझे बैंक आसते सहित जोगाजोग कर सब जानी से आमको अधिक किसी जनइले से किसी शिखबार भावुँ मोर ये स्वप्नटा निश्चय साकार हम
तृणमूल क्षेत्र रे महिला विकास स्वकल्प जरिया निश्चित भाव में पूरा हम आपन समस्त आशीर्वाद दरकार. Can we expect one more round of applause for this initiative, ladies and gentlemen present over here?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
And okay, ma'am. I request Alka ma'am to do a small gesture.
Hello.
We would be felicitating now Secretary of Mission Sakti, Srimati Sujata Karthikeyan ma'am, for her valuable addition in this event. And of course, our moderator, Mr. Bimal Rath, for carrying the session so well. And it was really participative.
Thank you so much, Sujata ji, for being here. I just quickly want to just tell you what we are doing here at the moment. There is a program called Swakalp, in which we will be training 10,000 men and women for entrepreneurship. This is a 100-hour program. This process began about a year ago, and about 150 entrepreneurs of this 10,000 have been created. We are today felicitating 7 of these entrepreneurs, and we've also released a book with stories of 25 of them. We will soon be... So I just want to read out their names. A round of applause for each one of them. Jyotsana Rani Mahapatra, Khurda. Gitanjali Meher, Bargad, Handloom. Binita Bhatt, Puri, Applic. This is the Batamangla one. Correct. She's the Batamangla one. Then there is Dhuna Pradhan. He is the one guy we have in... Yeah. Bipasa Dasgupta. Mrs. Cake. Okay, so for all the Bhubaneswar people, her brand is called Mrs. Cake, and I'm told that the food is very, very good. So do order. Chinmay Das, Bhubaneswar Lip and Arts. Yeah. And Sarmishta Panda, again bakery. Yeah, this one. This one, naam batao? Lelo Cakes. Lelo Cakes. Yeah, both of them. And we have eaten bakery products made by them. We serve them in WSC when we have functions. Big round of applause for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Sujata ma'am, I request you to please be here, and Mr. Bimal, and I request Alka ma'am to do the honor. And my beautiful audience, amazing audience, so participative, so encouraging audience. Please give a round of applause for this fantastic session we had witnessed. Thank you, Sujata ma'am, once again. Thank you, Mr. Bimal Rath. Ladies and gentlemen, before moving for the next session, we would be seeking blessing from none other than the ace sculpture artist from Puri, Pride of Odisha, Padma Vibhushan, and Padma Shri, Shri Sudarshan Sahu sir. Sir, namaskar and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, the next session is all about service industry. The service sector in Odisha contributes to over 35% of the state's GDP. Additionally, Odisha's favorable policy climate and ease of doing business has been instrumental in supporting leading e-commerce players build strategic partnership with the state. These sectors are witnessing expansive growth and provide opportunities for the state to tap into and further leverage. I'll be requesting our esteemed panelists to please come and join us on the dais. Mr. Devashish Sharma, TAT. Mr. N.M. Sharafuddin, IMGCC. Check. Mr. Sandeep Kumar, Sodexo. Ms. Soni Mishra, CRISIL Limited. And we will have the moderator for this session from Carrot Capital, Mr. Pankaj Bansal.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
I request all of you to give a round of applause to welcome our panelists and moderator on the stage for the session on service industry, where the key topics would be evolution of the industry and employment landscape over the last few years, technological advancement and changing skill requirements in this particular industry, future trends and emerging role that are shaping this service industry, potential job roles where public-private partnerships can be explored, key ask from the government of Odisha to catalyze employment creation.
Hello.
And I request him to provide in each table one of the cordless mic for smooth functioning of the session.
Check.
check, check.
Namaste, friends. Am I audible till the end? Can you hear me? We are just doing a mic testing. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Namaste, Jai Jagannath. Delighted to be here after such a wonderful program. And I'm still in the awe of what we heard yesterday from Mr. Pandian and then today. It's been fascinating. Thank you, Alka, for getting us together, OSDA, and the whole team who's managed this lovely program. And also Team Deloitte. I know we keep requesting for things and they keep changing. So thank you, everyone, for putting this wonderful show together. I have a very interesting and esteemed panelist with me. The theme that we have is services sector, but the focus is around jobs. Jobs is something that is close to heart of each one of us and this diverse panel. The challenge we have is that we have 30 minutes. And the good part is that will force us to be very crisp and to the point. So I think we are towards the end of day 2, and my panelists are from varied industries, from aviation to financial industry to job market to somebody who's managing the corridor of India and UAE. I think very interesting and diverse panel. So friends, unlike the previous session, which was a wonderful democratic session, we don't have the privilege to do democracy in this session in interest of time. So you will have to give us our attention so that we can get the best out of it. And rest of the job our panelists will do, that much I can assure you. We have friends from the HR community here. Always pleasure, Santrupt, having you here and all of you around. So friends, the way we are going to do is we are going to focus on probably 2 or 3 themes. And I'm going to request all my co-panelists to be as crisp and brief they can be. I just want to say before I request them to share their thoughts is that yesterday evening when Santrup took us to meet Mr. Pandian after the program, the way the government means business is unbelievable. I've been part to so many associations, so many states. I wear 3 hats today other than People Strong co-founder. I run a fund called Carrot Capital and I sit at Prime Minister's task force called Mission Karmyogi, now Karmyogi Bharat. And Santrupt and I share the board of Karmyogi Bharat, which is Prime Minister's initiative for reforming the bureaucracy and focusing to bring capability development in bureaucracy. So when I look at all of it and the yesterday's meeting, what I was realizing that this state is not about noise. This state is about voice of people of Odisha. And I think this conference, this summit, this initiative probably will take this voice to India and globally across the world. So this is the importance I see to this GES, the Growth and Employment Summit. And what I'm going to do in next 25, 27 minutes that we have is going to begin with first introducing our panelists and going to request them briefly tell what they have in mind when they think of jobs, because there's a confusion. If you're a ruling party, you will say there are enough jobs. If you're in opposition, you will say there are no jobs. It happens nationally, it happens internationally, it happens in states. So I'm going to discuss in general. The people sitting next to me are speaking the truth. They are the corporate leaders, they're managing the jobs. So tell us what's your take at a very high level. You see the job rising or not after introducing self. And on my extreme right is my partner in crime, my colleague Devashish Sharma, CEO of TAG, is the largest recruiting company of the country. So Devashish, over to you.
Thank you, Pankaj. The introduction's already made. So I'll just start by saying I think as somebody from the nation, I think Odisha is very, very lucky, not only from its demographic, but geographically. We just saw this morning 5 major ports on its west coast, on its east coast. Such a lot of development work. I think it's also very lucky because I've got to know that most of the tallest leaders in the corporate world now are from Odisha, and I see so many of them, including Dr. Mishra. So I think Odisha is very lucky. But yes, I think jobs as such, and coming to Odisha, though 40% it's an agrarian economy, huge opportunities in the core sector, whether it's mining and so many other places. But very clearly, services is, in the next 5 years, I believe, going to take center stage because jobs, many jobs with the help of technology are changing across sectors. And with a lot of initiatives that the government will do in terms of upskilling, I believe it is the greatest potential opportunity for Odisha. This is the time to look out. Next 5 years will be the game changer, where services will become equally dominant as the core sector in Odisha.
So Devashish, net jobs are up or down?
Jobs are certainly up, I believe so, except IT tech at the moment as an industry is down, but all other sectors, core sector, manufacturing, engineering, services is all at an all-time high.
Wonderful. Thank you, Devashish. I come to my extreme left. I have founder of Unstop, the largest, probably earlier stage career platform. You can say the job board for early careers. So what is that you are seeing? And he's raised large capital from Coursera, from our fund, from another fund called Mainavi, which is a Japanese fund, which now owns People Matters. So what is your take?
I think, Pankaj, to take it simple, there are jobs, there are candidates, there is talent in the market. But what we need is the right connect, and I think that's where we are failing. I'll give you an example through which you may understand this. So, Walmart, global retail giant, right? When they basically came to India, they wanted to hire female coders, and only 100 of them. They were not able to hire even 50% of them through their direct campus connects, IITs and NITs. They open it up to all female coders in India. And mind you, 1 lakh female coders applied to be part of Walmart. And in the end, they hired 2x of the numbers that they were aiming out for. And what they basically told us was that this was the first time where they sent out an email globally that if you really need female coders, this is the time when we have them. And happy to tell you, Alka ma'am, that when the participation happened for all those Walmart coders, and that concluded yesterday itself, there were thousands of girls from Odisha that participated, and finally the ones that were recruited were also from Odisha. And I was just standing outside, one of our, somebody caught me and they said that on Unstop, his sister has found a job. But more than that, what he was very, very happy about was that on the platform itself, the sister was able to upskill herself by evaluating her skills and then was able to apply for the right job. And that's the connect that I'm talking about.
Wonderful. So we need platforms, we need country, everything is happening. Sony, what's your take? You know Sony, Crystal, CHRO, and what an amazing career at Wipro, at Schneider, wonderful career. Tell us, Sony, what are you witnessing? And I call it, please pardon me for saying this, I called it the Brahminical jobs. You know what is Brahminical jobs? The highest end of the job that everyone aspires to is what CRISIL is all about, right? Rating agency, S&P. So what's your take?
Am I audible? Yeah. Am I audible? I'm audible now.
Close. Yeah, keep the mic close, please.
Closer? Yeah. First of all, good evening to everybody present here. Thank you, Alka ma'am. Thank you, all the other honorable state officials for this privilege. I'm a very proud daughter of Odisha. I continue to be. So therefore, feels very good to sit here. I sit here with a conviction more than the pride that Odisha is here and this is the right time and we should be flying. We should not be missing the bus. To answer your question, Pankaj, I'll specifically focus on the finance sector. And I'll give 2-3 points here. Finance industry is growing. It is among the top 3 industries that's growing in an accelerated manner. 14% year-on-year growth. We are looking, particularly if I look at one area, fintech itself, we are looking at an industry which is $150 billion by 2025. We are looking for the finance industry, we're looking at some 5 million jobs that will get created. And like he said, if I'm looking at finance industry, while we will continue to have the core segments in terms of the skills, the up the value chain areas that are getting really, really important and are getting scarce are the ones that are here to stay. So therefore, one, it is really going to grow. There will be lots and lots of jobs. But more importantly for us as a takeaway, jobs will not remain jobs anymore. They will actually become skill-based. So companies are going to hire basis skill, compensation rewards will be basis skill, careers will be basis skill, and we will talk about it. To answer you, it's a great, great phase for the industry that I represent, and yes, we will discuss more on this.
So another thumbs up. Thank you, Sony, for sharing. And the skill part that she's discussing, we're going to come back to as a second question. But let me move to some very interesting perspective from Dr. Shroff. And he manages the India and Middle East corridor. right? He runs the chambers. So what's your take on India's view, and especially in the current context, the relationships? What do you see, sir?
Thank you. First of all, my sincere congratulations for the efforts taken by the organizers to be the number one in the skill hub in India. It's really appreciable. Thinking about, discussing about, identifying and inviting resources to address the gathering and to empower what it is required is the number one sign of establishing Odisha as the number one skill hub. I'm really impressed with that, the processes. So considering about the job market and the, of course, as I mentioned, see both India and abroad, because I've been working with India and abroad since last so many years. So there is a very good prospects for, say, every job. You know, the world is changing, the job is getting changed, and the perspective of the job and the character of the job is also changing. But what we have to do is, we have to really do the research. What is the future job? Maybe in 2030, it is told that, okay, 30% of the jobs currently available will not be there at the year of 2030. This is a reality. We have to know what exactly is the changes happening. You know, a lot of manpower has been replaced by robotics, artificial intelligence, and automation by many industries, especially manufacturing industries. So they need a replacement, because not as workers, but as designers or controllers or engineers. It is up to us to empower and upskill the people who are currently working in these areas to be the number one in the coming future required areas.
Thank you. So this is very helpful. I just wanted to check. So are you saying we are going to see the rise, even exporting talent to UAE?
Of course. Not only UAE, the world, as India being the youngest population, maybe 50% above in the 30 years of age. Okay, so the world, not only UAE, not only GCC, Middle East countries, but the entire world is looking at India for skill supplies. That is where we need to have a very prominent role, that we should know what is the industry requirement. In US and all, because they have started the academy industry as a collaboration. That is an industry, that means the major industry will go to academies and universities. They will take people or the students on internship and train them for their future needs.
Done. And I think this is excellent. I'm going to come back and pick this skill thread again, sir. I'm going to come back to you.
Thank you.
On my left is the company that you all know very well, which is Sodexo. Right? In our offices, we see the workforce. And I'm using the workforce because I'm tired of correcting myself and my colleagues and people in audience. This manpower word is not right. I see women being addressed as chairman of a company. Right? I think this is so much in our psyche. So tell us the workforce that you have and what are you seeing? Because that's at the front line.
Good afternoon, everyone. So thank you to the Odisha people. You are going to give NUA Odisha to the entire country, not only Odisha. So I really like that. See, I have seen many states running this program, but the way you are running it and the way you are showing the path to the other states, they need to definitely follow it, right? Coming to your question, Pankaj. So we are a company across the world. We hire around 4.2 lakhs people who are working with us. And India also, we have around 52,000 people working. Majority of them are blue-collar workers. Many of them are school dropouts. But at the same time, we have professionals who are professionally qualified, like hotel management or any walk of life. What I see today and in future, see, globally, if you look around, and for that matter, in India also, a large population is going to grow old. And you will require a lot of comfort keepers or caregivers. In India itself, by 2050, we'll have 66 crore people will be old. That means they will cross 60 years and above. All of us will require caregivers because our families are getting smaller, will not have a larger family to take care of each other. So that is one of the jobs which a state like Odisha can definitely capitalize on. It has a lot of, see, all of us are talking about digital, technology and all, but we are forgetting that there is a human need which needs care. I mean, no machine can replace the care which a human being can provide. So there are lots of roles coming out of that. And people from East India, particularly Odisha kind of states, they are emotionally very stable. They are very mature. They can take up this job at any level, right from a caregiver to a counselor to anything. So that is one of the opportunity which I see. Then coming to the next, like the jobs. I was just going through the hospitality and tourism industry. By 2033, we will have 430 million jobs. So we are looking for more people. As I am speaking, we are really struggling. We have close to around 3 lakh vacancies in our industry, which is we are not able to fill in. And with that kind, why we are not able to fill in? People are not aware that these are the opportunities. Like he told that there are jobs. People are not aware what exactly I need to do this, whether I have to be educated or even non-educated. So that is the gap which we need to do.
So thank you, Sandeep, for sharing. So this is the sector which probably we all ignore, but has large mass number of jobs. And we're going to come back and discuss this topic of skilling. And on my right, I have Rakesh with me, representing Indigo. He leads a very interesting function, which is D&I, which is diversity, inclusion, and equity. So, and we have decided that no complaints of aviation sector will go to him. They are only for Twitter. So tell us, what are you witnessing? He said, yes, the jobs are increasing. That said, yes. So most of the table are saying, tell us candidly what you see.
Thank you, Pankaj. And am I audible?
Yes.
I'll take your mic. Thank you. So thank you, Usha ji and Alka ji, for this wonderful opportunity to be here in this on this podium. And in fact, I was born in Bhubaneswar, so all the more I am very glad to keep coming to this city over and over again. Now, one thing is definitely not going to happen, that aircraft is not going to be run by technology only. There has to be human beings there. So jobs are definitely not going to be redundant, especially the roles that are there up in the aircraft. That is one. And if you see the kind of orders that aviation companies has given at this moment, where Indigo has gone much beyond 500 aircraft, other airlines, right from Air India to Wakasa Airline, and the kind of investment that they're doing in getting in those aircraft, so jobs are definitely going to be there. And it'll increase many-fold with the commitment of the government that where are they going to take Indian economy from 3.5 trillion to what is our final target. So that's one. And two, I think not just those roles, but the roles on the ground will also be available for people to apply. But what is that I feel is a gap is the pre-skilling. And I just want to take another minute or so, Pankaj, if I am not eating into your time, is the fact that the pre-skilling is extremely important. And one of the things that we did as Indigo is we onboarded with a program called Pre-Hire Training for the Women. And we spoke about a lot of opportunities for the women here. And that's where we see almost about 75% of the people who could not get through are getting through after the pre-hire training, pre-hire skilling. So that's one area that still needs to be worked upon, not just for the cabin crew, but many other maybe roles and industries as well.
So thank you. This is very helpful. Let me ask a show of hands. How many of you think your jobs can be done by machine or technology? Just say a hand. So very few people believe that's the reality. But when you look at the numbers, the data, what is happening to our IT industry is a fact or a testimony that our jobs are being taken away. I'm not trying to scare, but I'm saying if that's the reality. Devashish, I want you to quickly share with us. Everybody is saying in services sector, tech jobs are over. IT industry is down, that's what they're saying. You all remember the poster child of India was Infosys, Wipro, TCS, right? If they are hiring, India is hiring. If they are not hiring, India is not hiring. That's not true anymore. So tell us, Devashish, when you see these number of jobs going down in the bellwethers, do you see the other industries hiring similar or tech talent?
So, interestingly, technology has become a horizontal across industries. I think with the way technology, especially in terms of data science, in terms of the Internet of Things, 4.0 technologies, industry 4.0 technologies. Across all industries, manufacturing, core sector, automotive, pharma, I hire for all of these customers, FMCG.
So what percentage?
We have
if out of 60,000 that you hire since I'm privy, how many you will be now hiring?
1.2, 1,20,000.
So how many of them?
At the moment, with IT down, about 80% of my hiring is in all other sectors except IT. And in my IT roles, all my IT roles, almost all of them are in...
Will be required to still do the higher end of the job. And I'm looking at my financial ecosystem to speak about it. While a lot of the transactional skills may be automated, generative AI, all of that will be there. But 3-4 areas that we are looking at, blockchain, machine learning, we are looking at a cloud, all of this will need human interface. More than that, as we go forward, the areas that we are talking about is regulatory, compliance, ESG. These are all big things that's going to happen for the finance sector, definitely very, very aggressively, and I'm sure it will touch all the other sectors. Now, these can't be replaced by machines and automation because the skills that we are talking about here would be analytical, would be about knowing, the domain knowledge, would be about knowing the regulation of the country, will be about having an agility to be able to cope up with the changes that the external economic environment and the
Sorry, but if I can ask you,
policies
Soni, you said that skilling will be the way. So are you saying, are you going to look at degrees or skilling will take over?
No,
There are systems-
that's where we have to look at skilling. It is not degree, and my submission here to the government would be that look at 2-3 things. One is how do we sort of incorporate the STEM courses here? We all know STEM, what it is: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Make it as a core part of the curriculum in the academics. Also do an interface of all the three agencies that are supposed to be adding, which is academics, our industry, and of course government. They have to work in tandem to have relevant skills, and there should be an interface abilities that should be planned.
So, Soni,
Third, my
join us
last
here.
point would be the gender divide has to be definitely closed. I will take 2 minutes here just to go and show only data without speaking.
Can we just pick up this particular point? You be here, you join us.
Pankaj, I will just go back. I'm just making a point here for all the audience to see. If you look at NCR and you look at Bhubaneswar, just go back, just step the slides. More, just go. Yeah, more. Yeah. Where is Bhubaneswar? Next one. I'm just leaving a thought here with everybody. That is why I'm sorry I took this time, but I would obviously give it up. I'm just making a point here when we are talking of skilling. Look at the requirement and look at the companies that are asking for it and look at where Bhubaneswar is. Now, all my slides here, we can see it later, is about what is the potential of Odisha. That's what I wanted to say from a skilling perspective. I'm sorry I took a little more time.
Please have a seat. So I think she's also highlighting the importance of skill again. Most of the HR leaders will know there are skill operating systems which are coming up, replacing the traditional HR systems. So that's the importance, Soni, that you are mentioning are required, and the Bhubaneswar data may help leaders here. I have another question for Rakesh. When you look at Rakesh, the whole aviation industry, and since you handle D&I, tell us on jobs the challenge of hiring bias, right? Hiring bias means you all understand the meaning of hiring bias. It is gender biased. It is, I will hire a particular institute. I will hire a particular race. So how are you managing hiring bias, specifically in context of what Soni mentioned?
I have exactly 2 minutes, so I'll try to be as fast as possible. But before I get into answering your question, let me make a point here. I want to say that any human being has 3 kinds of behavior. One is your personal behavior, one is your social behavior, and the third one is a professional behavior. The answer to how do you handle biases at the hiring stage is what is the professional behavior companies have to define. If these are these XYZ checklists that I have to perform when I am hiring, they have to be performed, they have to be monitored, they have to be checked, and then all of that will rule out your mindset biases. Because by default, human being, when you're born, we grow up and we have certain a belief system that gets formalized till the age of 14, and that's what the primitive psychology said. But later neuroscience is saying something else. But then, and you keep building on those systems. So they will be there. And the second thing is, please appreciate the fact that as human beings, we are different. And we have to appreciate the fact that as human beings, we are different. Companies have to say that, yes, human beings are different. Hiring managers will have biases. Acknowledge the fact, go ahead, sensitize them, tell them that as people, you are different, appreciate people are different, and then define what is the corporate behavior, what is the behavior of a hiring manager, and put up those checklists, have the governance in place. I think that to a great extent will take care of the biases at hiring.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we have about a minute left. So der aaye durust aaye, but we will hear from him, from Sodexo, what they have to say. Then I'll take a final comment from Dr. Shroff before I close it.
So about hiring bias, I'll give you two stories.
Quick ones.
Yeah, quick ones. So most of our people are placed at a client side. Our operator as well as the client says, लड़की ये काम नहीं कर सकती, भारी है, भारी उठाना है. मैं उसको बोलता है इंडिया के जितने मेडल भारी उठाने वाले वो लड़कियां ही लेके आती हैं. Then the other thing they tell, what we looked at, that most of the traditional jobs are defined for male. जैसे designation है pantry boy. So we changed all the designations. We removed all the genders from all the designations.
Wonderful.
Now all the pantry boys are called pantry associates. Because moment the hiring manager has the front में pantry boy लिखा, वो pantry boy ही hire करेगा, pantry girl नहीं hire करेगा.
Wonderful.
So that's how we have changed the mind.
Thank you. I love both the examples. A big hand for them. Dr. Shroff, on a closing, so finally, is investment for skilling coming to India or not? Or is it India's job?
No,
Odisha's
definitely.
job?
I'll put this in another way. Because now there is a transformation trend that job seekers are turning to entrepreneurs. Starting business. Starting business means once somebody who is a business owner, he can provide at least a minimum 5 jobs to others. That's a creation of wonderful creation of generating of new jobs. Surely there will be a lot of investments coming to India because we are working for that. I represent an organization which is in India and in the Middle East countries, including GCC. A lot of negotiations are going on. We have made a lot of MOUs with different chambers of commerce in abroad and in India. And I am working very closely with at least 4 state ministries to bring in investments and employability, to export employable people to outside India. And this is working very, very successfully. And I hope there is a tremendous scope for all these things. But we keep upskilling the people, both in employment and for the entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shroff. Friends, I wish we could have continued, but I think we are dot on time, 1 minute exceeded. I was thinking, if we would have gone on the skill side, everyone has their take on the skill. Right? वो in Ramcharitmanas they say, जिनकी रही भावना जैसी, प्रभु मूरत तिन देखी तैसी. I think so. Skilling is almost like that. It's a hard subject to close, but I think it's in able hands, at least in Odisha. So thank you so much for getting us together. And I once again thanks Devashish and Ankit for getting here, giving us the larger market perspectives. Dr. Shroff for India, Middle East perspective, and thank you the frontline perspective that you got. And aviation is going through such a hard time, but what you guys doing is incredible. And thank you, Sony, for those slides and enlightening us. Thank you, and back to organizers. Thanks, Alka, once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this amazing discussions. And may I now request Principal Secretary, STT. Okay. Chairperson. Ma'am, both of you, why don't you join? Alka ma'am and Usha ma'am, a big round of applause. Chairman OSDA, Principal Secretary, STT, Government of Odisha. Can I request all of you to please come and stay forward? All our panelists and the web moderator, Mr. Pankaj Bansal. I'll be requesting both of you, ma'am, to please present a token of appreciation to all the eminent panelists present over here and our moderator for the session on service industry. Can we request for a group photograph? Thank you so much. Thank you, each and everyone. So finally, we have arrived at the juncture where we would be witnessing the valedictory session as of now. And we all were collectively looking forward for this day. I mean to say number of days. Check. Can we increase the volume, please, console? Volume come check.
Hello,
Check.
hello. Hello.
The 2 days full of enlightenment, collaboration, and progress. Nevertheless, thank you so much for being an inevitable part in your own way.
Hello.
I request
Hello.
Chairperson, OSDA, Srimati Alka Mishra, to please come and join us on the dais for the valedictory session. Principal Secretary, STTE, Government of Odisha, Srimati Usha Pari. CEO, OSDA, Sri Reghuji, to please come and join us for the valedictory session. Ladies and gentlemen, can I expect a round of applause from all of you? In this session, we have the very first presentation by CEO OSDA, Sri Reghuji. I would be requesting you, sir, to please proceed with your presentation. And audience, thank you for being so participative. Over to Sri Reghuji. Check. Yes.
So I would request my colleagues from the directorates and WSC and the engineering colleges to kindly see this bit. These are takeaways for us actually. So from the last 2 days of deep deliberations. So I request your participation. I'll also have a quiz for some of you. I'll actually ask some questions to the Polytechnic and ITI principals to see whether you have actually followed the deliberations. So please pay attention. Right. So, this we have seen, so I will not dwell much on all this. We have a lot of geographic and natural strengths. We have a lot of corporate investments following in. We are ranked number 2 in the country for investments, and we have a lot of government policies, which all of you already know about all this. So yes, why is skilling such a crucial component? First thing is advent of emerging technologies. We are all dealing with this in the ITIs and polytechnics and the engineering colleges. A lot of jobs we are seeing a lot of changes. Many of the panelists mentioned that in IT and ITS the hiring has been slower this year. They are looking for more of people who skilled in micro credentials and all that. So the ways of working and the nature of jobs are changing. The consumer demography is also changing. More impulsive consumers nowadays. increased digital adoption with organizations like Blinkit and all coming in. More local hiring, because you know, I mean, you all know that way better than we all do. Today, Mr. Sudarshan mentioned about hiring from Kalahandi. 1,000 students hired from Kalahandi for jobs in Vedanta's factories in Kalahandi. I didn't know that myself. You know that better because all of you participate in the hiring drive. So businesses are becoming more local nowadays. Yes. So what are the drivers for skilling from key sectors? Power, more shift towards green energy. Yesterday, DC ma'am spoke about the green hydrogen and green ammonia plant being set up in Gopalpur in Ganjam. So we'll have to look for skilling towards these sectors. Insurance, yes, we heard Mr. Anand Prabhudesai speaking about the Turtle Mint effort to sell insurance and to train people in insurance provision. So he spoke about 1 lakh postmen trained. So we have much more demand now in that sector. So we'll have to look towards that. Logistics, yes, there's a complete session on logistics. We have courses in ITIs now on logistics. I think World Skill Center is also starting a new course on logistics. So a lot of things to look forward, especially with the number of ports increasing in Odisha. We had Mr. Subrat Tripathi speaking about Adani's efforts in ports. So a lot to look forward to in this sector. Tech and IT, I think this was the most disruptive sector for all of us. Actually, sitting down there, we also felt, we are also taken by the storm. We don't know what kind of jobs will exist tomorrow. So a lot of things to look, especially for the vice chancellors, because engineering jobs are going to be dynamic like never before. Next, manufacturing, yes. Manufacturing, I think people spoke about automation, where cobots will be working along with people. People spoke about green energy, sustainable energy in manufacturing, because you have to work with sustainable energy in steel making and all that. But the important takeaway and the recommendation was that more and more companies are looking towards diversity, inclusion, and so we are on the right track, I guess. At least our efforts are on the right track. So we'll have more girls and women working in the manufacturing sector, and we are on way to doing that. Yes. So these are the broad key takeaways, which I think most of us know, but still the mindsets we have to change so that we look towards the futuristic job roles. Public-private partnerships, we are trying to do that even in ITIs, in polytechnics, and in engineering colleges, we are trying to bring public-private partnerships. Industry-academia collaboration, this has been spoken about in almost every session, that there is a gap and that industry is willing to come forward and bridge that gap. That's the assurance that we have got in every session. Managerial and soft skills training, that extremely well taken. We know our students are being given life skills, but still I think there is a lot to cover, because Hemant Sharma sir also spoke about we don't need people who are skilled for life, we need people who are life skilled. So that's the major takeaway. So we heard a couple of interesting commitments. You must all be remembering Mr. Ashish Mohapatra and Mr. Ritesh Agarwal giving the comment about mentoring 5 startups and financing them 5 startups every year from Odisha by each of them. So that was an interesting commitment that we heard yesterday. More investments in the state, yes. Job creation, especially insurance sector, finance, fintech sector. We had promises about job creation. Ease of doing business, yes. Hemant Sharma sir spoke at length about the ease of doing business that Odisha is providing. Skill development and training, we had Alka ma'am and Usha ma'am speaking about the NUA Odisha program and the kind of efforts that we are taking to bring in industry, and that Odisha is the most flexible policy here in skill development, where industry can come and collaborate in whichever ways is possible. So, and finally, to end it all, we had a very interesting session on women's empowerment. These are the kind of slogans that came up, and no guesses for which slogan won. The slogan which won is that a skilled lady makes a skilled family and a skilled country. So we end on a high note with that, and these are all the other slogans. All of them contribute towards it, but this is the slogan that came out biggest. So thank you all for the 2 wonderful days of deliberation. I think a lot of takeaways. Many of them we have heard long before, but it takes reinforcement, and we have a long way to go, and we'll work with industry and academia to bridge this. So thank you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Reghuji. Now I'd be requesting Alka ma'am to present the... Over to Principal Secretary, STT, Government of Odisha, Osa ma'am.
Now I am having 2 mics and I am carrying one more. So this is called preparedness. And my team, please don't fail me again. Okay, Samastanku Namaskar. First of all, thanks to everyone for being our partners for last 2 days and spending some time with us, sharing your valuable thoughts. Thanks and gratitude from bottom of my heart. On behalf of OSDA, my department, my directorate, everyone, on behalf of everyone, I convey our sincere gratitude for your time and your words, and everything has been so good for 2 days. So thanks a lot. I'll start with that. So yesterday when I started, I asked, how is the Josh? That was the first session. So the answer was evident that, okay, it was starting. So now it's the ending, last session. So how is the Josh? Very good. Somebody shouted. Please raise your hand. Okay, very good. Because the work begins now. So when we all think that, okay, the 2-day seminars are over, I'm sure that the entire team here will actually start working towards all those action points which have been taken away. So thanks a lot for giving all those works to us. So now you have a reason if something doesn't happen. Yes, we told you, you did not do. Okay, at least we have given that opportunity to you. Thirdly, at this stage, I would also like to say that on behalf of my team, I convey our regret for some of the technical issues, especially with the audio. And I hope that my logistic team has taken care of your stay and accommodation and other things. So that would have compensated a bit. So please carry the happy memories, cherish them, and try to let go. Something has not happened. It doesn't mean that we'll not follow it up. We'll do the required thing and we'll make sure that we'll train the people there and make sure that we'll have the skilled people for the audio. Okay. So I'll just speak a bit on very brief on the content part, what we are going to do. I always feel somebody was saying that, okay, this is the right time. We have called everyone and we are discussing. You believe us, we always think that, oh, we should have done it long back. I mean, always we think that we have to catch up. We have to catch up. That feeling is there. They say, you are always in a hurry. So in the government, always it's a firefighting, and whatever we talk today, we always feel that it should have been done yesterday. So now, whatever it is, we have brought everybody, and thanks to Alka ma'am, especially because she has used, I think, all her good network to bring everybody together and making this happen. So now we have so much of big canvas, which has with so many activities, so we can take it forward. And whenever we hear every one of you, we feel that how contented or how complacent we become when we do the work. I mean, if you ask me, whatever they were talking, I mean, we were thinking, okay, we are doing this, we are doing that. There is so much of gap, I feel. I mean, when they talk of curriculum, we are doing curriculum already, there has been so much of change. So something like that, always we feel that there is something happening, and industry expectations, there is so much of gap. So I think this is the platform, and these type of platform help us to fill up that gap and have a collaborative efforts. So I think in that direction, this has been a huge success. Your inputs have been there. My team has been here since since yesterday morning, and we have noted everything, and we'll take all those issues seriously, and we'll put the action plans in a place. I can only assure you, all of you who have given some thoughts, be assured that you have given it to the right people. We will assure you that we will be able to give those things really a good effort and make those things happen. If it is in the interest of the state, certainly we do it. And maybe yesterday we heard our Honorable CM, then subsequently the Chairperson 5T, and today some of the representative. Yesterday Development Commissioner was there. Chief Secretary couldn't come, but he has sent his greetings. So all of us as a team, we have committed, and I think you might have realized that Odisha is going to deliver this. So with that, and with your good wishes, your continuous engagement, I stop here. But as I said, this is the beginning for all those things which we have talked since yesterday. And some of you, maybe we can come back to you again. And yesterday, we had been very, in another part where we have been quite listening to you. But maybe we'll be calling back you and we'll be requesting and maybe sometimes more demanding in getting back whatever we wanted from you or want from you. So please bear with my team, and we'll take all these issues forward and we'll try to make those difference and try to transform those lives. And it is not just a rhetoric. We mean it. If we have to intervene, we have to see that every lives should transform and they should be getting those opportunities which they deserve. Everyone in Odisha, they should not be missing out anything, and it is all our responsibility to make this happen. And that's the commitment, and that is also our responsibility. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you everyone. And now I request our chairperson to have a final word. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. When I said yesterday to the Chief Minister that I want to thank on behalf of a tribal girl that she can't be here because she is currently doing an internship in Singapore, or another one who's currently working in Dubai. I myself felt very emotional in the last few months that I have been here. And it's been very encouraging these last 2 days because investment basically means opportunity. When I'd had a chance to speak to some of the principals of the ITIs and polytechnics and the district employment and skill officers, I had got an impression that there weren't any jobs available. So I think the 2 days here have been an indication even to the teams and everyone here in Odisha that the jobs are very much available. It's just that we have to ensure that the industry and our institution, whether it's the engineering colleges, I thank the Vice Chancellors for being here for the last 2 days and really listening in, as well as the district employment officers, the ITI and the polytechnic principals, the trainers, for being so committed to hear for themselves. Sometimes when you're told, oh, in the newspaper there is 12,000 jobs here and 20,000 jobs there, you think maybe this is a figment of someone's imagination and someone's just writing a number. But today you've actually heard it from the people who are hiring themselves. We had someone from Nestle say, this is what I am doing. Somebody from another organization, and I mean the list could go on. So we would be creating for each one of those organizations a group of people from within the skill ecosystem to ensure. So this is a takeaway that I am assuring here, that the organization which is saying that I want 10,000 people, we will create an ecosystem that they say what are those job roles, and we will ensure that the department comes up with a strategy over a time frame as to how we are going to complete that process. There will be skilling, there will be maybe possible hiring, but we have to bring them to the level of the industry. That is something we will reach out to the industry, and it will be for the industry. It's not going to be something which is going to happen here and now. We're going to reach out to you again. This is going to be growth and employment is a dynamic word. We all know that. And it's not that this summit is suddenly going to provide X number of jobs or X number of skills. So we as an organization will ensure that we create, whether it's trainers or the ecosystem, to provide for people for the industry. And if I could say thank you on behalf of 2 people, I would be very happy to be able to say it on behalf of lakhs and lakhs of people to a government and to a chief minister who's actually allowing this kind of interaction to happen, where you can tell us that this is the investment we're doing, these are the jobs we want, and how do we need to ensure that we give you industry-ready people. So on that note, I want to thank each one of you, those who've had to leave by flights earlier. I express gratitude to each one of them who've come. And for those people from within the state who are present here, we have a tough task ahead of us, because each one of us has to decide how many lives can be transformed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'd be requesting Principal Secretary SDTE to present a token of appreciation to Chairperson OSTA, Srimati Alka Mishra ma'am, for this amazing arrangement, one of its kind, Global Summit, NUA Odisha on Growth and Employment. Come on, everyone. The josh should be high and persistent. And I request Chairperson OSTA, Srimati Alka Mishra, to present a token of appreciation to Principal Secretary, SDTE, Government of Odisha, Srimati Usha Padhi. With a round of applause. And I request Chairperson OSTA to present a token of appreciation to CEO OSTA, Sri Raghuji. Raghu sir, if it is of no use, you can think of options. So in the words of Helen Keller, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So with this spirit, we are concluding this summit. Thank you so much, each and everyone, all our amazing partners. Thank you. A standing ovation to yourself. And a big round of applause if you can see your hands in the air. What a conclusion. And we can go for a group photograph. Team SDTE and OST.
OSDA, whoever can be accommodated here, please come up. Some of my team members, please come here. Our team members, please come. OSDA, department, some of our university people, please come here. And if industry people wants to be part of it, you are most welcome. It would be an amazing picture. Please come.
One more thing I would like to mention, that 2 days we had brainstorming, conclave, sessions, discussions, and everything was on live. So in case you want to go back to some of the sessions, you want to listen to some of the key points shared by our experienced panelists, you can always check on the same and you can utilize the thing, and you can always communicate to us for your thoughts, your ideas. So we request, let's join our hands to shape a brighter and, of course, an amazing Odisha. We can go for 2 phases of photographs. You can wait. Rest of our audience, please wait for the second round. We can go for the second round of photograph. I request gentlemen to please wait. There will be another round where we will accommodate all of you. And in the next round, we would be requesting our partners to please come and join us after this photograph. Thank you.